Did ancient Indians really build a 30-mile bridge across the ocean? Today we examine satellite imagery, geological dating, and engineering claims behind the Setu story. This question sits at the crossroads of archaeology, geology, remote sensing, and ancient literature, demanding careful, balanced investigation rather than quick conclusions. First, we map the structure known as Adam's Bridge, or Setu, using high-resolution satellite imagery spanning India and Sri Lanka across the Palk Strait. Next, we review scientific dating methods applied to the shoals, including radiocarbon, coral growth analysis, and sediment studies reported in peer-reviewed literature. Then we evaluate the engineering feasibility. Could humans in antiquity have constructed a causeway of reefs, sandbars, and stones over deep ocean channels? Finally, we place these findings alongside descriptions in the Ramayana, acknowledging cultural significance while focusing on empirical evidence available to science. Satellite images reveal a linear chain of shoals stretching between Ramaswaram and Mannar in the Palk Strait, visible as shallow sandbars and interrupted coral formations. High-resolution multispectral imagery helps distinguish sand, rock, and living reef. Several remote sensing studies have used this data to map the feature's morphology. Some images show a remarkably straight alignment for nearly 30 miles, prompting claims of an artificial causeway rather than natural shoals. However, straightness alone is not proof of construction. Coastal currents, sediment transport, and reef growth can produce linear features over time in many regions. Bathymetric surveys and sonar profiles reveal variable depths and natural breaks, indicating a complex mix of biological sedimentary and erosional processes shaping the shoals. Satellite data provides the map, but it must be combined with ground truth, dated samples, reef cores, and geological mapping to infer origin rigorously. Geological studies have sampled carbonates and coral along the shoals to determine age using radiocarbon and uranium-thorium techniques and other chronometers. Results vary. Some samples indicate Holocene ages of a few thousand years, while other material reflects older reef growth later reworked by sea level changes. Sea level fluctuations during the last 15,000 years altered shoreline positions, exposing and burying reef platforms repeatedly, complicating age interpretation. Mixing of older coral fragments into younger sediments can produce apparent ages that don't represent a single construction event or human activity. Overall, the geological picture favors a predominantly natural genesis, with reef growth and sediment dynamics shaping the shoals over millennia rather than a single engineered project. But gaps remain: localized human modification, stone placement, or symbolic constructions cannot be entirely ruled out without targeted archaeological excavation and analysis. From an engineering standpoint, constructing a continuous 30-mile stone causeway across shifting shoals and strong currents would be a monumental task for ancient societies. Ancient texts like the Ramayana describe a bridge built by Rama's army, often interpreted variously as allegory, engineering memory, or a record of landscape change. Some researchers suggest engineered interventions, strategically placed stones or bundled materials, acting as nucleation sites that later became reef nuclei over centuries. Experimental archaeology demonstrates humans can build jetties and causeways with simple tools, but the scale, maintenance needs, and material sourcing here are severe limiting factors. Modern engineering models show waves, tides, and monsoon-driven currents would quickly erode unprotected stone works without continuous repair or advanced anchoring systems. Therefore, the most plausible explanation combines natural shoal formation with occasional human modification, aligning scientific data and cultural narratives without forcing either to dominate. So did ancient Indians build a 30-mile bridge? The evidence does not conclusively support a single large-scale engineered causeway, but supports complex natural formation with possible human touches. Satellite imagery maps the feature. Geological dating reveals multi-stage reef and sediment history. Engineering analysis highlights the practical constraints on ancient construction at scale. Respecting the Ramayana's cultural importance, science and tradition can coexist. Myth preserves memory, while robust methods test mechanisms and build timelines for change. Future research, targeted excavations, precise in situ dating of stone placements, and interdisciplinary collaboration could clarify where nature ends and human agency begins. Until then, Setu remains an evocative boundary between myth and geology, an extraordinary landscape shaped by earth processes, human memory, and centuries of interpretation. Our verdict: mostly natural shoals with potential pockets of human modification. The bridge is real as story and complex as science, and worthy of further interdisciplinary study.